to The Loud Box, an American audio podcast with your host, Elle Robinson, and I'm asking you to join me weekly as we listen, relate, and discuss the things that are unspoken, overlooked, and hidden in the back of our minds, or what I like to call the corner of denial. So engage with us. Share your story. I'll even go first regarding family, relationships, the world we live in, our mental health, and how it really and truly affects us. How you were molded by your experiences, even how you overcame them. There's really only one way to get it out, and that's to unlock the box. Hello, and welcome back to our audio podcast. I am your host, Elle. Today's topic is pretty serious and very real for so many Americans. There's a quiet panic happening right now. Not the kind that shows up on the news with flashing banners or breaking news alert. It's quieter than that, heavier. It lives within those who really understand and recognizes what's happening. When you wake up in the morning and realize you don't know how much longer you can hold on. Jobs are disappearing fast. Applications disappear into black holes. Temporary work doesn't qualify you for an apartment, but permanent jobs don't seem to exist anymore. Rent. It requires 3 to 4 times the income most people can't even get anymore. Healthcare has become a luxury. And while billions move effortless through governments and corporations, everyday people are told to just be patient. Patience doesn't pay rent, refill prescriptions, nor does it feed families. And let's be clear, we're not talking about fear. It's about empowering yourselves to take the next step. Even when the world feels like it's sliding towards instability, economically, politically, and socially, there are still things you can do. Small, practical, and stabilizing things. That's what is at play here. For a long time, we were sold an idea of stability. Get a job, work hard, pay your taxes, do the right thing, and eventually things will work out. That promise quickly broke. People are doing everything they were told to do and still falling behind. Not because of a personal failure, but because of fundamental change in the rules of the game. The truth is, stability is no longer handed out. It has to be built. And building it doesn't start with panic buying or worst case scenarios. It starts with income protection. Find any way, simple ways to save something. $10, $20, whatever you have. Put it to the side and don't touch it. That's why the first pillar of this episode and the free e-guide is work from home. Not because it's trendy or easy. We're talking necessity. We are living in a very, very fragile and unstable time. Every bit helps. Every resource counts. And everyone is going to be affected in one sense or another. Further, work from home is not about lounging or escaping responsibility. It is about taking back some of your control. Control over your life and livelihood, where you live, how you manage emergencies. Whether a commute, a shutdown, a relocation, or a health issue wipes out your entire income, you better have a plan B. The free e-guide lists 20 legitimate companies that hire remote workers. Real companies, real roles, real career pages. Customer support, healthcare, tech, data services, no scams, no pay us first, no promises of overnight wealth, just places to start when everything else feels closed off. And if you apply to one company a day for 20 days, you've already done more to protect yourself than most people realize is possible. One application won't change your life. 20, it just might. Let's talk about preparation. Some people hear that word and immediately think of extremes. Bunkers, hoarding, panic. That's not what this is. Preparation is simply reducing the number of emergencies that can take you down. If losing power for a few days would spiral you into crisis, that's not resilience. If missing one paycheck puts you at risk of eviction, that's not a personal failure. That's vulnerability created by systems that leave you no margin at all. The second set of 20 in the guide focuses on basic readiness. You guys hear and see the chaos. You're not blind. Just think about what happened with Verizon just a short while ago. People were losing their minds. Their phones were disabled. They couldn't make any calls or receive any communication. I mean, these people can tell you anything. How do we know what truly happened? What's the old saying? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I live by that every day. My go-to bag is always ready. Water, food, cash on hand. Got it. Documents. You can be an American and get pulled over by ICE. You better have some documents. I have a friend that's from Nigeria, and he recently received his permanent residency, yet he sees what's happening in the streets. He doesn't seem to care, and I'm constantly telling him, you better keep your documents on you at all times. He doesn't listen. You can't tell him anything. I guarantee you, if ICE pulls him over, he better have those documents on him. Not at home, not in his locker like the guy did a few months ago. That didn't stop them. You better be prepared. Communication. If the internet goes down, how are you going to connect? Remember what just happened over in the Middle East? I do. Does everything you have run via the internet? No landline? None of that, I presume? What do? What if someone takes out the power grid? How are you going to warm your home? How are you going to cook? Do you have a real fireplace with real wood to keep you warm? Or do you have electric? Or perhaps not at all? What do? I want people to really think. Someone asked me during the pandemic why I had so much wood and charcoal. Well, baby, let's just say if you know, you know. And what about a blackout? Those are not uncommon. New York have had their share. Most of us should understand by now that disaster is guaranteed, but because uncertainty already exists. Preparedness doesn't mean expecting the worst. It means not being blindsided by the predictable. The third pillar is protection. I want people to really understand what actually keeps them safe. Protection isn't just locks and passwords. It's in having simple life skills, being able to adapt no matter what comes your way, and setting up a clear and attainable plan that you know will work for you. Not for everyone else, but for you. You may be a mom of 4. Meanwhile, Billy over there has himself to think about and only himself to think about. Plan accordingly. When everyone and everything feels unstable, routines become anchors. When information is overwhelming, focus becomes power. When fear spreads, clarity becomes your protection. Again, stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. When I was younger, I was asked, when is the best time to look for a job? I guarantee you, some people, especially our young people, would get this wrong. I guarantee it. because no one seems to be teaching them these very basic skills. During the pandemic, I'll never forget how young moms were struggling to get baby formula for their babies. They had no idea as to how to make this milk from scratch. Honey, I was clutching my pearls, my earrings, my hair. I was baffled because these were basic skills that everyone should know. Basic. Like how to start a fire 101 basic. We've got to do better, fam. We've got to do better in educating our young people, getting back to the basics of things and learning how to help one another. Help one, teach one. Remember that? I don't want to see any more deaths in the streets. I don't want to see anyone homeless, citizens losing their homes because they can't pay the rent. Americans are living in their cars, people, because they can't find work or the jobs they have isn't enough to pay these outrageous rent increases. The audacity is real to charge someone more even in times like this. Greed is real and people's lives are real. Again, help one, teach one. If you know anyone looking for a job, help them. Share whatever you can to help them. It costs you nothing but time to care enough for just a little bit. You never know whose life you can change. You may very well be that lifeline they need to make it another day, another month. Until next time.